Hi everyone, this is Belle with Pop Culture Uncovered, and I am here with the one and only Tony Isabella. So how are you this morning, sir?
I'm doing great. I've had a wonderful time here in Baltimore.
Can you tell me, we were talking about a story before, you were telling me something that was amazing before we actually got on camera, so could you recount that for me a little bit?
My first three black friends were comic book fans who, in our very segregated city of Cleveland when I was younger, they came from the east side of Cleveland to the west side of Cleveland to attend the comic book club meetings that I had started. Early on I realized that, it's not fair that my friends don't have more characters that are black.
Right.
I told myself if I ever got into comics that I would try to write characters of color and create characters of color. So we flash ahead a few years. I do get to do that. I work on things like Luke Cage and Misty Knight and the Falcon at Marvel. I go to DC, I create Black Lightning. Two of those friends still live in Cleveland. Leroy Creighton, who's a gospel singer. Dennis Knowles, who's a PBS producer. And then my third friend, Bruce Burke, is an attorney here in Washington, D.C. Now, they never knew that they were so pivotal to my career until Dennis interviewed me for the local PBS station in Cleveland, Ohio. They told our third friend, Bruce Burke, and for the first time in 30 years, Bruce came to this convention, and we were together hanging out for the first time in 30 years. I recognized him instantly. Those guys are proud of me. I can't thank them enough for setting me on this career path that has just been so rewarding.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. It's amazing to me. As I was saying to you earlier, it means so much when you can see yourself. And the fact that you we were talking about this yesterday on our panel. It's one thing to have compassion. It's another thing to have empathy. You didn't just have compassion, you had empathy. And so you made a point of using your empathy to do good and to make sure people saw other people of color, and not just as a stereotype, and not just as a thug, or not just as a gang member, because I swear it's so many comic books even now where it's, oh, they're a gang member who went good. You wrote these characters of color, and they were so different. Each one of them was different. And one of the things that we were talking about specifically where Luke Cage and Black Lightning and Black Goliath were that all three of them, not just different backgrounds, but different socioeconomic things. So how important was that? Because each one of them have such very different roots, as it were.
Well, I always try to steal a line from Luke Cage, always forward.
Yes.
I don't want to write, the same type of story today that I wrote 20, 40 years ago. And with these characters, I try to get to really know the character. I find that part of me that I can take and build the characters. I will obviously never experience the prejudice that black people feel. But we were the first Italian family in my neighborhood in Cleveland during a time when The Untouchables was on TV every week, and they assumed all Italians were gangsters.
Yeah.
So you take that little bit of prejudice that I experienced, and doing your research, building your character, you expand it so that it's part of the new character you've created. And that's what I always try to do. The characters are very important to me, in many ways more important than the plots, because the characters will drive the plot.
Yes, in good writing, the characters will drive the
Oh, the characters are always surprising me.
Yeah. One of the things we wanted to talk about, because it came up in the panel yesterday, was Misty Knight. And I know you say that Chris Claremont did the heavy lifting, and he did. He's an amazing writer. But you thought of Misty.
Yes.
And you originated Misty, and she is one of our favorite characters even before the show happened, and then Simone Missick brought her to life. So what inspired you to write Misty firstly, and B, how do you love her, or what do you think about her character on the show?
I was inspired to write Misty because I agreed to write 3 issues of Iron Fist with the possibility of writing more. Iron Fist stories at that time were told in the second person, and I hated writing that. You are Iron Fist, and you just punched somebody in the face. You are Iron Fist, and you just used your baked chicken wing kick. I hated those. I hated those with a passion. So I told myself, I have to find a way to get rid of these captions. Iron Fist needs somebody he can talk to.
Yes.
So I was going out. I used to see a lot of the black action movies with the younger black artists that were at Marvel, Arvel Jones, Ron Wilson, Keith Pollard. We went to go see Black Belt Jones, which is not a great movie.
No.
But Gloria Hendry played this kick-ass
holy crap
martial artist.
Gloria Hendry.
And I said,
wow.
We need her. When we got out of the theater, I said to Arvel, I'm putting someone like that in Iron Fist. My physical description of her to Arvel was Pam Grier.
Yes.
Because who didn't love Pam
Who doesn't still love Pam Grier?
So I wanted Misty to be Danny's partner. Not in a romantic sense, kind of a big sister looking out for her naive younger brother, giving him shit when he does stupid things,
yes,
but always having his back.
Yeah.
I wanted that to be a brother-sister relationship. Now, Chris Claremont took it in a different direction, which he was writing Iron Fist. That was his right. And I love what Chris did with Misty, and I will tell everyone, Chris Claremont did the heavy lifting on that character. As far as the TV series, I love Simone Messick so much.
Yeah.
Her Misty is my favorite of any version of Misty that I've written or read. She is a lovely young woman, a wonderful actress. Arvel Jones and I met her at the premiere of Luke Cage at the Magic Johnson Theater in Harlem,
right,
which Marvel had invited us to. And there's this great shot of me and Arvel standing on the red carpet with Simone between us. I labeled it Misty Has Two Dads.
Aww.
Now, obviously, Arvel being this handsome, tall, thin guy, and then you look at me and clearly I have the childbearing gift. But yeah, I love Simone. I love that show. I was talking to Mike Coulter yesterday. I owe a great debt to Luke Cage because the success of that show got the Black Lightning show on the air that much sooner. And again, it's people of like mind. The Luke Cage people and the Black Lightning people, we're all trying to tell the same type of stories, real stories with real people, and so we're always trying to support one another.
Question. If you, so I wanted to find out, going into that, how much of a consulting are you doing on both Black Lightning and Luke Cage?
I'm not doing anything on Luke Cage, although everyone who works on these shows that might use characters for me, or even if they don't use my characters, they're always free to call on me. I love helping the TV shows out. In the case of Black Lightning, before anybody had been hired to do the show, I wrote at DC's request, I wrote a core values paper stating who Black Lightning was, what's important to him, what kind of world he lives in. Even though my comic book Black Lightning is much younger than the TV show version, they're the same guy. The comic book and the show have the same values.
Yeah.
When Salim and Mara Bracca-Keel were hired, and they are brilliant, we had hours of phone conferences in which they would ask me all sorts of questions about Black Lightning. We talk about the type of stories. I am the creator of Black Lightning, but Salim and Mara are the creator of the Black Lightning TV series. Before the series started filming, they had filmed a 20-minute promotion tape,
right,
which is what got the series greenlighted. Salim flew me to Burbank to spend a day with the Black Lightning writers, which was wonderful. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of me in this show. There's a lot of what they've added to the show. things I did, even in may have well inspired stuff at the show. Because, you know, when you talk to somebody for 6 hours, you don't remember all the details.
Yeah.
I know some stuff in the show influences me. Lynn Stewart in my comic book is British because Christine Adams has a British accent that helps me.
Yes.
The same, you know, I'm melted by British accents ever since Diana Rigg in The Avengers.
I love that you made that reference because she is my hero and I love her still. I love her still on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So I have one more quick question. What do you want to go forward with doing? And I know that's not really a quick question per se.
If I could only do one thing the rest of my life, it would be to write Black Lightning stories until they pry my keyboard from my coat that but there are other things I want to do. I want to write more books on comics history. I want to write more books, you know, memoir type books. I'm working on a book called Black Lightning and My Road to Diversity, which will talk about my career with characters of color and moving forward, what I'd like to see from comics. I'm learning to write screenplays because I have a friend in Cleveland who wants to make a horror movie that I came up with.
Oh, really?
And down the line, I would love to write for the Black Lightning TV show.
Okay. All right. So I guess what I'm saying is that I look forward to what you put out next.
Thank you.
You are a true sweetheart, and I'm just so pleased to have made your acquaintance. And I guess we have to thank Ron for that. And it's just been an honor and a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you so much. You're too kind.
You have no idea how much your characters have influenced me personally. Misty was one of the characters that I saw myself in. Luke reminded me of guys I grew up with. The characters, you were one of the first people who showed that there's more than one way to be black. And there's one that the human experience is universal regardless of race. So I personally cannot thank you enough for that.
Thank you so much.
So thank you for talking with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the con and get some rest.
That'll come after.
That'll come in a week. So for Pop Culture Uncovered, this is Belle with Pop Culture Uncovered. You can find us at PC Uncovered on Twitter and Instagram, popcultureuncovered.com, and Pop Culture Uncovered on Facebook. Thank you. Peace.
Thank you.